What would you say one tangible thing that an athlete or someone else who is going to go through some form of transition in life, what's the first thing they should do? That's a bar.
No, I want to be a pro, man. I want to go to the league.
You played with people like Pascal Siakam. You played with the Bueller brothers. You played in Finland, Belgium, Austria, Israel. You think you could have played in the NBA?
Yeah, for sure. I went to this guy, and the man said, I hope you have enough money saved up, because you won't be playing too long. Dog, this is my second year pro. That he's telling me this, you know?
I'm a failure. What did I do? I wasted time.
Damn, I should have stretched more. I'm going to have to think about something else. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I was scrambling. I didn't know what was next. All I knew was basketball.
Yeah. Did you elongate your career because you didn't know what else to do next? Welcome to another episode of You Only Die Twice. And in this episode, we will be talking to Daniel Mullings. Daniel Mullings went to New Mexico State University. From there, he had a 9-year career and played in countries like Finland and Israel. He's currently playing for the Scarborough Shooting Stars, where in 2023, he won a championship. Before we start this episode, the best way for you to support this podcast is by liking, commenting, subscribing, and also sharing with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into it. The biggest reason why I wanted to have you here, you're the first guest that we've had thus far that is still technically a player. Like you're still playing. You haven't stopped playing yet. You haven't quote unquote died. So, and as much as I know you, I don't. So you're one of the people I was like, this would be a good opportunity for not only for me to get to know you more, but for me to talk to someone who's still going through and is eventually going to go through, that transitional journey.
Yeah.
So when did you realize you were like good at basketball? Because you obviously played multiple sports.
Yeah.
You got lost in sports, but when do you know you were like nice at ball?
Maybe 10th grade. I thought like from there, because I had a growth spurt.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, in like 9th grade, I was like 5'3".
Serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was small, man. I was pinched. And then I had a little growth spurt from like 9th grade summer to 10th grade. I got like to about 5'9", 5'10".
Okay.
And then like everything started to come together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then my first year of high school, it was like a mixed 9th, 10th grade team, and I played, but not as much. And then 10th grade, it was just a 10th grade team.
Mm-hmm.
So then it kind of like became my team. I was kind of like the leader on the team. And from there, I started to get used to my body a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
My athleticism really started kicking in. And then I think from there, I'm like, yo, I'm getting nice, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
start getting a little hype from the people around you, start telling you you're good.
Yeah. And I'm going around, to all the gyms, to the rec centers, all that. And now I'm starting to build something for myself.
A little reputation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like my name is starting to go around a little bit,
So at that point where you like, I'm going to make this choice, I'm going to go become a pro? Or do you just want to just hoop so that, you can get a scholarship, you can play D1, because it was hard to do it back then?
No, I want to be a pro, man. Like, I want to go to the league. What I was like, and I knew, because I knew it was so hard, I made it a mission to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, step by step, I knew it was hard to get a scholarship, but it's like, to me, it wasn't that hard, like, because I kind of I had like a mindset, like a mentality, like, yo, if these, like, there's a couple people doing it, but this is what I love, and if I put like all my attention to detail and focus on this, and I'm like, it's a genuine passion of mine, then like I thought that I could do it. Like, that was there was no thought in my mind that I couldn't get that done, and I felt like that's what kind of drove me. So I would play basketball any chance that I get. Like school, I went straight from school to the rec center. like every day I was going around, going everywhere to hoop, and against anybody. Like I just not afraid to play against anyone, not afraid to go against any challenge, like basketball wise. Like I felt like, you know, if I give myself a fair chance to do it, then I can accomplish it. So like I feel like that was my mindset. So I wanted to be go to the league and then like be a pro. And I was like, you know what? So my first goal was like, yo, if I can get to D1, then I'm gonna be a pro. You know what I mean? So I just have to fight through this right here and get to D1. I didn't know how it was gonna look like or how I was gonna do it, but I just knew I was gonna get there.
You think you could have played in the NBA?
Yeah. I think I had like a small window. I would say like around my junior year in college, where like that was probably like my best year. You know, after I got like as player of the year, defensive first team, and like we went to the tournament and I played well like against San Diego State. So I was like, yo, I felt like this was the time that I'm like, all right, cool. I feel like, you know, that I have a good chance of making it there and I could do something for myself.
What happened?
I think I went back to school. So I went back after that junior year.
You didn't declare for the draft?
After my junior?
Yeah.
No. Because I didn't know, I didn't have anybody around me to kind of like advise me and be like, yo, like you had a great year here, so at least let's see if we can explore this and then declare. If not, then you can still start your professional career.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't have any of that. So, and then like my mom wanted me to just go
finish
back to school.
Yeah,
school
of
and
course.
Everything. So I didn't know, right? So I'm just thinking, all right, cool. Let's. We fell short. Didn't get to go to the next round. Let's come back next year, retool, refocused, and you know, let's build on this. And
how did you even get to New Mexico State?
That was crazy in itself. My senior year in high school, I didn't even have any offers.
Seriously?
I didn't have any offers. I had, I was gonna go. I had a couple of JUCO offers that came like later on that I was really considering. And then there's Paul Weir. He saved my life, bro. Like he's from Canada as well,
Okay.
and he was a associate head coach at New Mexico State. He recruited Tyrone too, and Ernst. Like all the Canadians, he's
Ronaldo Dixon,
Benzo. He recruited all of us. Like that pipeline.
Yeah,
that was all Paul Weir. Like that whole Canadian.
I used to call that school Canada U.
Yeah, every
Canada
year,
State, because every year there was
like 4 or 5
at
Canadians.
least.
Yeah,
at least.
That's Paul Weir.
Yeah,
like he's responsible.
Shout
for
out
that.
to Paul.
Shout out to P, man. Yeah, I don't know where he came from, but he came along and had an interest in me, and then it was I had a good game at the All Canada Classic, and because I was still like everybody was going places. Like Pangos was in there, Mike was in that All-Star game, Matthew Wright, Sim, like all these guys had places they were going, and like then you came to mine and it was just undecided. You know,
interesting. Yeah, so on the list
on the list right?
it says all the names.
Yeah, on the list it says all the names, and it goes going to Pangos, to Gonzaga, going here, and then it came down to mine, and it was just like undecided. Right, and like that was fuel for me, right? Not having any offers and stuff like that. But then P came along, and then he offered me New Mexico State, and like me being stubborn, I almost didn't go.
Serious?
Yeah, because I redshirted.
Redshirted which year?
My first year, because I didn't qualify. I didn't qualify right away to play.
Huh.
So
why, academically?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I had to. That was part of it, right? Like the redshirt 1 year, and then I would be eligible for the 4 years. But because I was so used to playing so much every year, like I didn't want to do that. So I'd rather take I'd take the chance on myself to go to JUCO.
Interesting.
And play 2 years and then figure it out from there. Like, that was my mindset. Like, all right, cool. I'm not going there because I'm not sitting out. And I'll bet on myself, go here 2 years, and then I'll figure it out, right? And so he wasn't hearing it. Like, I told him that, and he wasn't hearing it. So who do you think he went to?
He went to Mom Dukes.
So he went to my mom. So the whole time I'm like talking to these JUCOs, and I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. To go home, and my mom was like, I don't know what you think you got going on, but that's where you're going.
Yeah.
Like that's where you're going. So that's how I ended up going there.
Oh, that's amazing. You know, I got to say, your mother, every time, and we'll get to Scarborough, but every time I see your mom, it is, she's embracing me with love. And your mom doesn't really know me. You know what I'm saying? She knows I know you, but I'm always embraced with love. And I honestly see where you get a lot of your personality from. You know, it really comes from your mom. And shout out to shout out to her for
Shout
sure.
out to Debbie Sparks, man. Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah.
That's my dog.
Yeah.
She's cool, and she knows it now, like, because everybody, so she'll, like, even when she'll see you somewhere, and she'll be like, yeah, I seen this, I'm so popular, I seen this person over here, and, like,
she is, man, she's a star. And when you're not playing, oh God, the Jamaican comes out, and the accent, yo, Daniel, I don't know, Daniel's sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
I can't even do it properly, but dog, it's hilarious. Like, she's something else, man. She's something else.
She definitely is, and I just learned, I'm just like, yo, she's gonna do. So, like, I didn't even, like, I never will be like, yo, chill, because I just know, I'm just like, man, she's gonna be cussing regardless. Yeah. Referees, anybody can get it.
Anybody.
Like, me too. You brought me here to come watch and you're not doing nothing. Like, I'll just go home. Like, that's her, but I feel like that helped me too. It wasn't like it didn't bother me because I just knew what she was coming with, but I knew her intentions, and she loved because of, like, me and then my brothers, like, she fell in love with the game also. Yeah. Right? And then she became passionate, as passionate as us for it. So, like, when she started to learn the rules and of the game and stuff, like, then now she's talking, like, that's a travel. You didn't see that? Yeah. Like, but she's watching the game and she's learning. And, so it's like, that's just amazing to even just to be able to see her, like, be in that setting and, like, know what she's talking about,
and interact.
And then, like, interact and everything. So I was just, like, let her do her thing, but I'm locked in on the game, Yeah.
That's amazing. You were known for your explosiveness. You were known for your athleticism, and honestly, you're a dog defensively. You played really hard on both ends of the floor. We see the accolades, at New Mexico State. Describe your style of play. Like, where did that come from? Where did that aggression and energy that you play, where did that come from?
I don't know. I think that's just the I think, like, my environment, man. I think, like, because even just being so competitive in the household, starting from my mom and then down to me and then my brothers, we're all so competitive, and just I feel like it's just something you gotta be born with. You just gotta have the heart, man. Like, it's just, like, there's a lot of basketball players that don't have heart.
What do you mean by heart? How do you define that?
It's just having, like taking pride on defense, like, just not wanting the person in front of you to be better than you, just wanting to be the best. You know what I mean? Just not giving up on anything, whether it's a play, like, just respecting the game and bringing energy and effort. That's what, like, those are things that you can control as a player. So what I figured out, like, with my athleticism is I can get rebounds. I can get a lot of rebounds. Like, a lot of people can't do what I do as far as having energy and effort rebounding the basketball. Rebounding the basketball means I can get the ball. Yeah. On offense, I could get another possession. Yeah. So now I can get another possession, and I can do what I want with. Like I could score.
You got the ball, so you can do whatever you want.
Exactly. Now I could score, or I can make a play for somebody else.
And at New Mexico State, that was your mentality.
Yeah.
As a redshirt, right? So then your mom made you go there, and then you redshirted that first year. So you had to prove yourself.
Yeah.
And you played with people like Pascal Siakam. You played with the Bueller brothers. You played with the guy I worked out with, Bonja.
Oh yeah.
Bonja's the most athletic player, naturally athletic player I've ever played with.
Yes.
You played with Ty Watson. You played with Benz, of course, our guys. When you see the success of Pascal, Bonja played in Europe. I think last time I checked, he was playing in Serbia. Compared that to your game, do you feel as though you could have been in that situation as well?
Yeah, but
not in a jealous way. Just more so in like, if I had that opportunity as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like if I if I had those opportunities, then yeah, I would definitely seize the moment and opportunities. But I also understand that everybody's path is different, So I just understood that like my path is going this way and theirs is that way, which is like I'm okay with, I'm happy to be able to watch them and support and to see where they're at, right? And to know that we've all played together. Like
you're a part of their success.
We're a part of each other's success, exactly. Like we played together, we had success together, and like just knowing that at that time, that our skill playing together is like we're on the same level, and just knowing that I'm not far away from that. You know what I mean? Like that's just a situation that worked out for them. And then this is my situation. You know what I mean? You're still in it. You're 9-year pro. Played in Finland, Belgium, Austria, Israel. What were your favorite places to play? I would say Finland was great because we were in 2 leagues, so we played Champions League. That was the first year of Champions League.
Yeah.
So it was cool because we got to travel so much.
Yeah.
Like we had to the qualification round. We played Sweden, so we got to travel there. And then in our pool, like we had like Italy, France, Israel, Ukraine, Russia. Like all these places, so got to travel, in that span of those couple months, got to travel to all those countries, and while playing, like you know what I mean, like so it was being able to enjoy the moment there in Finland, and then just be able to have other life memories traveling with teammates, and then also being able to play in those different countries also. So I'd say like Finland is definitely up there, and we won the championship.
Can't go wrong.
Right, so
you've been winning then. That whole year you was winning.
Yeah, 2016 was a great year.
Great year. Yeah. Did you enjoy the culture over there in Europe? Because a lot of people, it's either like hit or miss, especially for Canadian or American.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Because I love traveling. And I love how how laid back and just chill and just relax. The whole culture is, just Europe is just everybody's doing their own thing, and going at their own pace, doing their own thing. And, I'm a bit of a explorer. So everywhere that I've been, I go out into, the city and just walk around and just pop in certain places just for the experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I enjoy that whole thing of being able to travel to Europe and just being over there and the lifestyle, the fashion, everything.
Yeah, you're okay with like being on your own. You don't have an issue with the isolation involved with being over there. Some people don't like that.
No, I love it. Yeah. Actually, I loved it because it's a peace of mind.
Yeah,
and then you're able to build, create your routine, build your own habits, work on yourself a lot, and just if you want to be like just a better person. You can definitely spend a lot of time to be able to do that.
Did you think you did that when you were over there? Like you
Yeah,
said?
I took it serious,
Yeah.
Like there's certain things that I wanted to implement into my daily routines.
What did you work on when you were there?
Like my mental a lot, being able to incorporate like meditation.
Yeah, that's a big practice for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, being able to, I was able to challenge myself too, getting up earlier, meditating, stretching, reading, like falling in love with reading again, because you have so much time. So now you have to figure out how you can properly manage your time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, 'cause
You're your own boss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that part of it, just, doing groceries, cooking, just being responsible.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah.
being responsible and like living the right way. Like obviously when you first get over there, everything when you're younger, you want to, eat out and do everything and just everything is all over the place. But then after, as you start to mature and year by year, now you want to implement different things into your regimen.
You talked about this a little bit earlier, and I want to go back to it because it's important. It's something that I thought about when I was even on the way here. Like it's something when I was overseas, I didn't have to, I didn't experience. But you were over there as a young father.
Yeah.
And you're playing like when I was playing basketball, I was playing to be a pro. I was playing to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is how I'm going to make it in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing to provide,
Mm-hmm.
right? And even if you're not directly doing that, you're indirectly doing that.
Right.
Because the money you're making, things you're doing is not just for you. You have a child to take care of. So what was that experience like? Did you add any pressure to yourself? Were you thinking about like every game I have to perform or else,
I don't think I didn't put those extra pressures on myself, but I just retooled my mindset and understood that I'm just no longer playing for myself. And like now my daughter is here. The universe is funny and it's cool because all those years that I was traveling, right? After we won the championship in 2016, I had to get surgery. I had to get knee surgery, like microfracture surgery. A lot of people don't even know that.
I don't know that.
I know that. Yeah. So I had to get microfracture surgery, like on my jumping leg, and then, so that year when I found out I had to get surgery, I had to miss a whole year, and then so I was able to be there for her when she was born. Yeah.
And then you went overseas.
And then after, so I was there, and then I went back after.
So the injury was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the only serious injury that you've had?
It's the most serious.
Okay.
I had a lot of injuries.
Okay. Knickknacks or like
No.
ones that require surgery?
Yes, I had a lot of surgery.
Really?
I fractured my jaw before in college. I played with a wired jaw, like in college.
Interesting. I didn't know
for
that.
a month.
Okay.
Yeah, it was wired. I couldn't talk. Like, and then
How did that happen?
On a rebound, somebody elbowed me,
Oh shit.
and then I couldn't like bite down on this side.
You're on your Kanye West with the wire. I
with
see.
the wire.
Yeah.
And I wasn't supposed to play, but I just
Okay.
for a month, and I had to. Everything is pureed.
So I'm
foot.
laughing.
No, no, it's funny though. But so that then I broke my pinky my senior year.
Okay.
I've had orbital surgery, so I have quite a bit of surgeries.
Damn, bro, you like me, big dog.
Yeah. My body's just screaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
You definitely felt from what you've just said. You've definitely had a lot of adversity then in your career as well, and dealing with injuries, dealing with illness, dealing with all the different things that come with basketball. Do you think when that happened, because this is what kind of happened to me, as that started to happen, my identity with basketball started to shift a little bit when I realized I'm like, well, shit, I ain't gonna do this forever anymore. Has that happened to you? Has your identity kind of shifted away from the game, and you're not as invested in it anymore?
Yeah, 100%. I think like it was all that happened at once. Like once I knew I had to get surgery.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie to you, like I was scrambling. I didn't know what was next. I didn't know anything. Because all I knew was basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
like
a scary feeling, isn't it?
It's super.
Yeah.
Because I remember sitting there after an appointment. I just went back in the car, and then I sat there, and I was just quiet. And then my mom was like, "How'd it go?" And I was like, "It's all right." But that's all I said, and I just sat there. And what I was thinking in my mind is like, yo, I have to figure out, I have to get a job. Like,
what am I going to do next?
What am I?
I thought your mind starts racing.
And so I had no clue, no nothing, right? So then, and then I was having my daughter as well. So with so much idle time, I started, I just wanted to know more about my body, right? So switch diet. I got back to reading. And then once I read a book, it's called like The Mindful Athlete by like George Mumford. So once I read that book, and it changed my whole perspective on like basketball and life. That's what like helped to introduce meditation and stuff like that and mindfulness into my life. Mm-hmm. And then I started thinking, like, damn, basketball is not the only thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I actually can't play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a machine that's moving my leg for me. I actually can't play. So now it kind of opened that door that I'm going to have to think about something else.
And it forced you to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And did you have a hard time detaching your identity from this? I'm Daniel Mullings. I play basketball. This is what I do from that. Yeah, but then I think also that made me say I really want to have another part of my identity than just a basketball player. Like that made me want to really figure that other side, right? Because I really didn't. From then I was like, okay, yeah, I don't want everybody to just say you're a basketball player and there's nothing else. So like I really, I didn't want that identity, you know what I mean? So it made me kind of go in and work towards, continuously figuring out what else is there, just Has it been a tough journey figuring that out?
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
It's one, trying to like pinpoint and identify
what it is you want to do.
What is it, or like what that looks like, you know what I mean? Because at that time I wasn't interested in doing like the like coaching or anything like that. Like I was like, I think because at a point I was one of those guys that were like, yo, when I'm done basketball, I'm done.
Yeah. Because
we put so much into this, like I'm done. But as going along and being, a natural leader and mentor, like in the spaces I am, like as far as like teams and stuff, it's like it comes natural that I'm just mentoring teammates or like the younger generation, and finding a love and a passion for that, like being able to coach. Like I was coaching last year with Shamar Coombs.
Okay.
And his prep team, and I fell in love with that, like the whole coaching and getting involved with basketball in that aspect.
Youth.
Like in the youth and the community and everything like that. So I think it took me a little while, but I feel like, just continuously seeking out, I kind of have a good understanding of what that would look like now compared to before.
So in 2016, after your microfracture surgery, I'm going to ask you this. Do you think from that point when you were like, you said all right to your mom and you're thinking about, what you're going to do, did you elongate your career because you didn't know what else to do next? Is that why you've continued to play?
I wouldn't, at that point, no, because what happened was I went through that initial phase of like, what am I going to do? Mm-hmm. And then once I did the surgery, right? Because what made me think like that initially was the doctor's opinions, right? And they can make or break. Like,
Yeah.
them people, like,
Yeah.
appreciate them, but some of them can, like, make or break, like, just people in general and in athletes. Because I went to a couple of them, and they would look at my knee and be like, damn, this is the worst knee I've seen. And, a memory I'll never forget. It was, like, probably, like, the second opinion. I went to this guy. I can't even remember his name, so.
Not important.
But it's not even important. But I went to this guy, and the man said, I hope you have enough money saved up, because it looks like you won't be playing too long, more than a year. And, dog, this is my second year pro. That he's telling me this. Oh, he's like, yo, there's another NBA guy, but, like, he's got millions. Sick. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, that's real.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
And
so, we don't have millions.
And we don't. And like, bro, this is my second year. Yeah, also, like, what do you, like, what? So, all that, just made my thoughts just race and just all over the place. Yeah. Like, and then I seen a third.
You know what that's called, though?
What?
Fear.
That's facts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fear, bro. Fear. Mm-hmm. That's so scary.
Super.
So fucking scary, man.
Super.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because so much things are just going through, like, in a blink of an eye.
Am I a failure? What did I do? I wasted time. I have all these decisions I made.
Damn, I should have stretched more.
Yeah,
I should have listened.
And it's little things like that. That's like, if I had taken that, bro, that time, I should have gone to I went to the club instead of stretching. That's why I tore my ACL or something. It's those little things.
Yep. You start going back, like,
man.
damn. Yeah. Everyone's saying, stretch. And I was like, I don't need a stretch. Yeah. Like, I can just windmill out in slides.
Yeah.
I don't need a stretch. And now I'm looking, I'm like, damn.
I probably should have stretched.
So I seen, I went to the third appointment, and the surgeon, Dr. Chahal, he, like, was so optimistic and was like, all right, cool. Like, this is bad, but, like, let's do the surgery and then we'll get you right and see where you can go. See, like, if you work hard on the rehab, then get you 4 or 5 years more to do what you want to do. Like, if you want to do that, right? It's all about the rehab. So once I got that like kind of like a breath of fresh air reassurance, then I was like, all right, cool. So now the accountability comes back on me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, so if I attack this rehab like it's a game, mm-hmm. right? Or it's a season, then I believe in myself so much that I will recover. You know what I mean? Like, I'll make a recovery, and then I'll get back to doing what I need to do. So I think that belief, it didn't. That wasn't me, like, just trying to stretch my career. That was me saying, like, all right, cool. You know what? There's a slight chance, and I believe in myself so much that chance to me, it can happen.
When you do decide to say, okay, time is up, mm-hmm. whenever that is, I don't know if that's now or whenever that is.
It's coming. My body's screaming, it's coming.
So when that day comes, is your belief regimented only just in basketball, or is it regimented in the fact that you're going to be perfectly fine when you do decide that you're okay to die now, as we like to say?
Yeah. I really do.
Yeah.
Right. I really do, because right now I actually feel like I'm in that transitional phase. Mm-hmm. Like,
how's it feel?
If we're being honest, I feel like I'm really in that transition.
We're being honest. That's why we're here.
Yeah. Like, I really do feel like it's that transitional phase, Like, it's a collection of things. It's knowing my purpose in my second life,
which is
being that mentor and that person, that leader that can guide the youth. Just focusing my attention, in that direction, and knowing that I got to stay strong and just got to keep focus on the task, because sometimes it could be, there are days where it's, there's tough days and there's frustrating days, especially like not playing right now. Like there's days where you do, like, it seems like nothing is going on.
Yeah.
It seems like nothing is going on in the journey and in the process, and then you kind of start thinking like, shit, like what the fuck am I doing? You know what I mean? Because it's just confusing. But like I feel like I just have to keep my mental strong, and just push through every day. I gotta have my habits and my routines have got to be strong and like consistent. I think consistency is the key. So it's like, for me, I wake up and then I meditate, and I have to go to the gym in the morning to work out, because it's like, something I've been accustomed to my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
But just like the basketball court, the gym, that space is where I'm able to kind of have a refresher and let go, and be able to, just release all that's going through my mind. So I'm able to release, then I can refocus on my the task that I need to get done. You know what I mean? And so I think it's just that's how I keep a strong, like, mental balance and core. It's continuously that checking in with myself, having a great partner, on your side, that for those days that are
mm-hmm.
tough, that it is able to be that support for you, like to
Very
be
important.
that support, and to be able to hold you up on those days that are tough and seems like nothing is happening, but it's all that 1% every day. You know what I mean? And truly finding out now that this is all the shit that comes with it. You know what I mean? Like, of being an entrepreneur, building a business,
mm-hmm.
and this is completely different than basketball now. So the approach is a little bit different. Like, having the same mindset, but the approach of it, like, not dealing with some of the things that I had to do in basketball, but the daily, every day is just different.
Some people don't have a plan at all.
It's not that easy though, brother.
Like,
we know. Like,
that's why you're here.
it took, and it took me a very long time to kind of know what that is
and be comfortable with it.
With it. I think like having an idea of it, but not being able to put it together. So my partner and I, Misha Clark,
mm-hmm.
we have Unlock Souls, which
mm-hmm.
is our business and our brand. It's a multifaceted brand that we provide resources and services that entail mindfulness mentorship programs for the kids.
Beautiful.
We'll have curriculum and stuff like that where we can like get in there and really show these kids critical thinking, skills and strategies of how to approach situations differently. So I think just having that firm understanding of building that base and now what to do, it makes it easier to transition. You know what I mean? So that's one aspect. And then the other aspect is my body is talking to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't say as far as old age, but it's more so just surgery. Like, a lot of surgeries are, now I'm starting to feel all the blowback from the surgeries, you know what I mean? Like the arthritis,
yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? In this cold weather, like waking, like stretching and getting up is not the same where it's easy just because of that, you know what I mean? And I got all these scars and everything to show for it. So I think, just listening to your body and just understanding that, like, it's that time. And now knowing what I want to do to be able to transition into that second phase, like, it's all timing and it's getting there. So my partner, Misha, she kind of help glue that and to bring those ideas and the vision I had like together
and make a tangible business
and to make it like you know what I'm saying, like you know, just to be able to, you know, collaborate and to really put that together. So now comfortably I can sit here and say, this is what this transitional phase, and that's part of the program too. You know what I mean? It's to help starting from the youth, but then it goes up to guys like us, you know what I mean, that kind of are figuring it out. But for some of our peers that I'm pretty sure we know, that sometimes elongate their careers because they don't know what to do. So like you're playing and you might see maybe, you know, one of your homies still playing, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's that time, but they don't want to do it and don't want to even confront it. I think that's the biggest part about it, is like at some point you got to be real with yourself and be able to look yourself in the mirror. It's hard. It's hard as shit, man. Like it's super hard, especially when you've been doing this. Like especially when you're good and elite in a certain skill. That's the only thing you know, and then you're like, I'm taking this all the way to the highest level possible, and that's all you know, right?
Well, that's what you're trained to do.
Exactly.
Because if I decide to, like, I can't put my all into this, but be like, I got this on this, I got this over here. Just think like you're taught to like, no, you have to go for this all. But there are like repercussions to that decision.
To that like, I feel like that is part of that contract that we signed. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because sometimes, you know, when they were growing up and they're telling us like, okay, this is your plan A, but to have something on the side, right? It sounds easy to say.
Yeah.
It sounds easy to say, but you're not really showing us how to do that. So now we have to learn through experience and trial and error. And then it's, how do you expect us to do that now when you become very good and elite in what you do? How do you tell someone, well, you're one of the top or the top in this right here, but still figure this out?
Yeah.
How? It doesn't go together. And then so it's like when you're focused so much on this aspect, then we're starving this side. And that's where I think that's where the issue comes of the transition, because then we like, this is why it's so important to, like, the podcast is important, like, of this just transitioning, because it's like a lot of the times we just don't know. It's kind of like we don't know. In our sport, we're at the top. Then when you come into real life or the second life, bro, you back. If you don't have any idea of what you're doing or some sort of person that's in a field to kind of walk you there, it's like you're back at ground zero.
And now you're 29.
And
or 30.
You're 29, 30 at the bottom.
Right.
Right? And it's like you're used to being up here in this, so it's uncomfortable. And now you're frustrated because it's like you're getting treated as like entry level. Right?
Or people just associate you with basketball. And now you're not a part of that, so you got to keep explaining that. Now
you got to, you know what I mean? Like you come here and they just think it's basketball, or you have basketball related to offer, when they don't know the other part of you and anything else. So like it becomes frustrating. But, you know, part of the Unlock Souls program that we'll also touch on is having that space
and balance,
and you know what I mean, the space and balance for that transition of people to be able to help figure out what that next move is without being in the gray area for too long, because sometimes we are in that gray area and then it becomes, that's where the derail happens, because then you feel like you're alone, you don't want to talk to no one, right? Because it's like,
well, who can relate
to you? And maybe you stopped your sport because not by choice, by an injury, you know what I mean? Something happened, and now it just stopped so abrupt that you're just by yourself, lonely. So it's so difficult to be able to climb through that, right? So,
with all you've accomplished thus far, you've been playing 9 years. You went D1, played pro, long career. Is it difficult for you to say, that you've had a successful career without having all the tangible and physical things to represent that? Do you feel like you've gotten enough out of basketball?
I would say so, because I just know that at each level that I played basketball, I gave it everything, right? I never cheated the game. I gave it everything. I approached every game like a killer, with that mentality of I want to win everything. I want to be the best. I want to compete against the best.
Mm-hmm.
I blood, sweat, and tears. I've bled over this plenty times.
Trust me.
I have the scars to show for it.
Yep.
I don't even know how many stitches collectively I have in my I've had like over this, how many surgeries, you know, success I've had. I've won at every level. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the best thing for me is during this journey is I did it my way, and I was able to bring like my people with me. Like wherever I went, I was able to bring like a family member, a close friend with me. Like, you know, I was able to bring my brothers to my brothers were able to watch, like at Crown League, we have family members. I was able to have my family there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my brothers, my close friends, cousins, people that I loved were able to be along the ride for me. I was able to like include people on my journey and to be able to show them, you know, part of the things that come with being in our basketball life. You know what I mean?
And that's success.
And that's, for me, that's success. And like, you know, to see them happy in those settings and are able to, it makes me happy for them to be able to be like, yo, my brother or my friend and my cousin played in this, and I went to this game, and I went here after. Like, that for me is enjoyment and what makes me happy. So I would say, like, I'm happy when everything is all said and done. I'll be able to look back and to be able to enjoy my career for what it is, man, and to be able to go through highlights and to go through things like properly. Because I never, you know, unfortunately, I never really was able, after each accomplishment, I never really sat back and said, and looked at it and said, damn, like, yo, we actually won this championship here. Like, this is how we did it, and really enjoyed it. After we won a championship, it was like we won, and then we celebrated, and then I'm like, all right, cool, I'm leaving for Finland to go here. And then so on. In Finland, I won, and I'm like, all right, cool, boom. Won, this is nice, what's next? But never really got to sit back and enjoy, like, everything, enjoy the ride, and to be able to, you know?
And be present in that moment.
Exactly.
Same with me. Never enjoyed my career. Never enjoyed it.
Never
enjoyed it.
Right?
Always, you know, trying to get to the next thing, What would you say one tangible thing that an athlete or someone else who is going to go through some form of transition in life, what's the first thing they should do?
Acceptance.
That's a bar.
I think that's the main thing. 'Cause
have you done that?
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Yeah. Sat down and kind of mapped everything out and looked at it and kind of looked at things from one side and then the other side, and just being, like I said, being fully honest with myself. Like, all right, cool. I think everything has to be aligned. So am I mentally still here, present in wanting to, like, hoop? In my case, hoop. You know, physically, is it still there? You know, spiritually, am I there? Like, everything has to be connected, right? For you to still want to do something. And if they're not all aligned, then you have to accept that. And you have to seek why. And then, like, it's difficult, but you're going to have to accept that and now be willing to kind of right away. If you accepted it and you're still, like, playing and finishing off, now's the time where you got to be really hitting the ground working and figuring out what is next, what could I do, so by the time that I'm actually finished, that I have an idea that I can just move into. But if you don't accept it and you keep thinking like, oh, I can play, but you're not mentally into it, you're gonna get some like physically.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna, if you're not mentally there and physically, it's gonna come around.
It'll show.
And then it'll show.
Yeah.
And then like life and like universe is a great teacher. It'll if you don't want to accept it, then it'll force you. You know what I mean? So I would say like accepting it first, and then being able to go in and just face that adversity straight, like face to face, and then figure it out.
Do you think figuring it out is the because personally I hate saying that. I hate saying I'm gonna figure it out. It's a part of it. I understand that, but do you think there's a better way or another way of going about it? Is there an actual tangible thing that I can do? Not to say that like you have to answer that, but is there a better way of us saying that?
That's a good question. You're right.
No, bro, it stumps me too. I'm trying to figure out a better. That's why I asked the question. I'm trying to figure that. I'm trying to figure out how to not say that we're figuring it out.
Right. I think
we're accepting.
I think like once you accept, I feel like we have to be able to reach out to people and not be like by ourselves. So that what I would say is, because for me, like once I accepted, it was kind of like I was in my shell, like feeling like I was by myself, but not even given the chance to, to try to talk to someone about how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And try to come up with an actual plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we can't do it by ourselves.
Nope.
So I feel like that's when we say that sometimes. We just try to do things by ourselves and it gets us nowhere. So we gotta like be willing to let that guard down and reach out
and
to
accept the help.
We gotta kind of like put that pride down a little bit and accept that help. You know what I mean? Like reach out to our network and people around us.
It's so funny you say that, because like think about all the people you named that help you get to where you got. Your mother, was it Coach Paul? Mm-hmm. Right? All the people you've named thus far in the interview that have helped you get and helped you make decisions. Mm-hmm. And you did it by committee as a team. And when this part of your journey happens, we go like this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You think it's just you. Mm-hmm. And it's not the case.
And it's not, it's us not wanting to look a certain way or to be perceived a certain way, having the same bravado of that basketball player and not the person.
Is that hard for you to let go of?
Yes. I'm still working on it. I think that was something that going into the new year that I wanted to like emphasize and to work on, is to get out of my own way and just accepting and dropping all the the pride, and just knowing that there's, before saying I'm by myself or dealing with this by myself, like understanding that there are people around that will be willing to listen and to help any way that they can. You know what I mean? So that's something that I emphasize, and I think I've been doing a good job of it so far. And it's just like everyday challenging myself. Sometimes Definitely. You get into that tug of war of like, should I reach out? Should I not? But like, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? Right? Like,
yeah.
You're only hurting yourself if you don't.
I agree. You're you're a champion. You won a championship last year. CEBL's coming up. Schedule just got released. Scarborough Shooting Stars. Stars.
Yeah,
shout out to Sam, Nico, Lowe, the whole gang.
Shout
Rachel,
out the gang, man.
You know, shout out. Are you gonna run it back?
I mean, we got to. Why not?
Okay.
We got to.
Okay.
We got to, man. We're at the top.
Yeah.
The chip is where it needs to be. It should be here anyways.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to do it bigger and better.
To conclude, we have a game that we like to play. It's called 4-3.
Okay.
Right? You can answer with one word or one sentence. So the three things I'm about to say. You ready to play?
Yeah.
Okay, dope. Basketball is
my first love.
When you hear success is not a destination but a journey, what comes to mind?
Overcoming obstacles in the way.
When people hear the name Daniel Mullings, what should they think of?
Family oriented, a killer on the court, and an unlocked soul.
Love. I've known you for a few years now, and
come on.
I have to say, you're one of the first basketball players I know of from here that has your own like unique style. Every time I see you, got something on that I've never seen before. You know, you have your, and it's not like you're not like, no disrespect to anyone who does this, but you're not like a designer whore where everything needs to be some name brand, something. It's a color coordinated style, and you have your own uniqueness to it, the way you dress, and that translates onto the court, I find, and those are two contrasting personalities, and I always noticed that about you, and I always respected it because it's very unique and it's unique to you. And that's part of the reason why I asked you to be here, is because I have an admiration. I think what you've done on the court has been phenomenal, the way and the way you carry yourself and the way you always show love. And I find that that's not something that I've received. And one of the things I wanted to do was give it. So that's why I asked you to be here. So I thank you for being open. Thank you for being honest. And I thank you for trusting me with your time. It means a lot to me.
Thank you, brother.
All right. So love.
Love, fam.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Like, always, man. You've always been, even just from playing. We didn't know each other, but the respect was always there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we were talking about this. Like, don't get it twisted. He's a legend too, right? Right? Like,
don't make me blush.
There's a lot of people throwing around this legend shit. But it's not. You gotta stop.
And I don't like that.
And I know he didn't like congratulations.
Thank you.
First.
And
I know he didn't like it because I called him a legend, but he is, right? Look what he's done. His journey. Look what he did at school. And I firsthand played with him, so I know that the mentality. And I think that's why we clicked, because it was just a respect, the way how you carried yourself and how you approach the game. You know what I mean?
Appreciate
it was that killer mentality. Like, yes, people you weren't really included in that pool, but when you came to play, like, it's good when somebody goes, yo, who is that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and then it carries on, and then now your name is in the mix, in the fold. You know what I mean? So I've always respected you and respected that and how you carried yourself, and the crossover, this little smooth crossover into the jumper. You know what I'm saying? Like, he definitely hit a clutch bucket in the championship. So I remember these things. You know what I mean?
Love, man. Appreciate that.
I appreciate you, and because and even for recognizing just the contrast of my styles, because it's funny when you say that. Now it actually makes sense. Like, like how it's just me, like my form of expression.
Yeah.
And like how I, just I have just the most confidence in myself.
Yeah.
So it's I don't do things like for that purpose, but it's just because I want to do it. You know
I know,
what I mean? And
I know, and it's authentic. That's what I mean.
like,
And it's like your style of play is aggressive, and you're off the court. You're very very chill, and the style comes out in that. And I was like, I noticed that from a long time ago, and I like I said, bro, I respected it. You know, I respected that, and I respected your game. And you know, we're a bit opposite. Like I never got credit for playing defense because I was so much better offensively, and that's okay. You know, that's my game compared
but that's why we're a team.
Exactly. You know, and compared to you, where it's the complete opposite. So you know, within your career, I'm gonna be at Scarborough. You know, I'm repping. I'm gonna be on the sideline, making sure I call all the games. So I can't wait to see you out there, bro. It's gonna be good. And when that transition does happen, and when you do die, you're gonna have a lot of support. Knock on wood, you don't actually die, but you know the analogy. when you do die in your sport, I think you're gonna be just fine. I do, bro. I appreciate it. I'm never gonna say that you're gonna figure it out. I think you have it figured out, and I think acceptance is a big part of that, and that's part of why we why we want to do this. And I'm actually, now that, like, since you said that, it's part of what I'm thinking. I'm like, yeah, bro, I've accepted it. I've accepted where I'm at. Yeah. I've accepted, where like we can go, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I think that's what I was able to see from you is like when you said you were done, because you know what I mean. I'm pretty sure we probably spoke about it too.
We did.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I couldn't believe it when you said, but you're like, yo. Yep, and I'm doing whatever. I'm like, okay, see, the first thing was you accepted it. Like, you accepted, like, this chapter's done. That life is done. So now let me put my full attention here. Yeah. Right?
But it wasn't easy, though. Low-key, I accepted it because I think I didn't have I thought I didn't have a choice. Right. But my choice was the acceptance. You know what I mean? I chose to accept it, and I was better because of it.
Yeah. But the acceptance is... that means you're not 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah, no.
Right? Because the 1 foot in, 1 foot out is like the gray area.
Oh, bro, in my case, it was both knees was out.
He said, I'm out of this. I'm gone.
I'm gone. Yeah. Both knees, Achilles, it was out. Everything. You know? And like, I could still play. That's what's crazy. I could still play, just not at that level. And I didn't want to me, like you said earlier, like, it'd be a disservice. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a disservice to the game that I can't do what I used to be able to do at the level I want to do it at. And like, my mind is like, yo, you still got it. You can still hit the cross. You can still dance. You know what I mean? You can still tango. Yeah. But then when it's time to do this,
it's trying to go like
when
this.
When it's time to go up and down, then my mind's like, nah. We go. It's time.
Slow down, my boy. Slow down, my boy. Or like when it comes to like because like professionally, it's not just playing the game.
No.
The preparation, the
scouting report.
Come on. Like when you start to go, yo, we got
the schemes defensively.
The walk. As you get older, hate walkthroughs.
You hate it. You hate it.
Like, no, let's just play the game. Let me stretch, warm up, and let's play the game. Bro.
Right.
Let me go home.
No, there's so much to it, bro. There's and then there's weights in between that, and then there's individual shoot arounds. There's coaching meetings. There's individual film, whatever. But they're picking out all your defensive mistakes and offensive. Yo, you should have passed this, and then when your team's not playing well, bro. You know how many times I see? I'm not saying no names. People come out the locker room and everyone's pissed because the team's losing, and they're cussing out. Yo, bro, all of that is I don't want to deal with that anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm all right.
I'm good. I've accepted that. I don't want to accept that anymore.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Trust me, man. Trust me. But yeah, that's it, man. Love. Like I said, appreciate you, man.
Love.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Hey guys, if you like this episode, I have a really good feeling you're gonna like the other one. So if you could do us a favor, like, comment, share, and subscribe.